Now, what I want to talk about today is the very end of this kingdom celebration. I finally, after long last, have accumulated enough of these ancient army skill fragments. And by the way, I'll tell you, I've done this by getting about 50 just about every time since that guarantees me 30. I finally have enough because they have the sale to purchase a Legion skill. So I wanted to take you through really quickly what my decision-making process is. Now, clearly, some of these are too expensive. These top three are all 300 or 330. I only have 275, so I cannot purchase any of these, but I'm not too broken up about it. I don't think that it's quite as good as some of the others, so I'm going to hold off. Now, I want to next talk about the cavalry attack, infantry attack, and spear attack ones. These are all 80 each. I could, in fact, buy all three of these. I am not, though, because these are all skills that are essentially available free to play. If you get a gold skill to level 9, it will give you the same thing as this red skill is giving. But the difference is that the gold ones are free to play and anyone can get them. So in my alliance, because we do have a lot of free to play members, I want to make sure that I'm maximizing our rallies. So I assume that many of them are going to level up their gold skills to level 9, and we're going to max out these skills. Basically, if you have 3 of them, that maxes out here. With gold, I think it's probably going to take 4 or so. But I have confidence that we can, so I'm going to avoid these. Now, my next couple choices. I've got the army reroute, the Legion healing, Legion damage, let me scroll down, and Legion survival. I'll get into the others in a second, but let's start with those. So, of these 4, I want to just note, first of all, that reroute gives troop attack, Legion healing gives defense, I think that the Legion survival gives defense, and Legion damage gives attack. In general, attack is almost always better than defense, and so I'm leaning in the direction of either reroute or Legion damage. The difference between the two is that Legion damage will make it so that my enemies have basically 10% more deaths, and it can actually stack up to that 10% in a single rally. The reroute works where I can reroute 10% of my enemy troops away from the battlefield, and they will not basically die or take any part in the fight. And this can stack up to 15% in a rally. Now, what is interesting about this to me is that I was a little conflicted about which one of these two I should get and which is better. I think reroute's much more popular, but reroute is kind of good for when you're defending or attacking. To a certain extent, the enemies dying more doesn't really help you in the battle itself. It just means that more of them will die in the end. So it's not as good of a defensive item, but it's great on offense. And this also means, by the way, that if you hit someone who has a ton of hospital space, they will still lose some troops, which is pretty cool. And that's a kind of a nice way around that strategy that some people will use, where they'll have a ton of hospital space. So the Legion healing basically has this chance to heal all of your wounded troops. I'm not going to bother with that, just not very interesting to me. And similarly, the Legion survival basically is the flip of the Legion damage. It means that your own troops are 10% less likely to die. But I don't really like that, so I'm, again, leaning in reroute or Legion damage. But for the sake of it, I'll go through a couple of the others. So next we have Army Attack, Army Defense, and Army Health. These all add the reversal effect, which is definitely very good and unique, and you can't really get it anywhere else because it's a straight Army Attack, Army Defense, and Army Health. And it's definitely good. I'm not going to make less of them. I do like these. And I think that probably the best of them is obviously the Army Attack, followed by the Health. But I just don't think that they're really worth it compared to what the others are giving. They're just so much more interesting. So to look at the last couple, we have the Legion Building, which increases your rally size. The anti-counter skill, which basically decreases how much their counter matters. And then the Army counter skill. I kind of think that these counters are definitely interesting and kind of can be good, but overall, I don't think any of these are that that cool or interesting. The rally size one definitely is good if you were the rally leader, as I usually am not. It's not very interesting to me. So again, I come back to being in between reroute and the Legion damage. So where I'm coming down on this, and the reason I'm going to make my decision, I do think that reroute is probably the most popular one. And that's for a good reason. It's probably the most powerful. The reason why I think I'm going to choose it, again, I agree that everyone else has it. Not a ton of people in my alliance specifically have it, and I think it will be helpful to us in that way. It will also be really helpful to me when I'm defending, or like if I'm tanking a rally, that's going to be huge. Imagine a 6 million rallies hitting, 600,000 of those troops all of a sudden are out the window. That's a very different looking rally. So I do think that that's really powerful and helpful, and I like that it gives army attack. But the bigger thing for me is that it will be more beneficial to me individually, and I actually do think it will benefit our alliance a little bit more in the long run. I also just think that with the thing with the Legion damage is that one person having it all the way maxed will give the full 10%, and a second person having it won't benefit you at all. And my assumption is that Diver will have this in his rallies. His Max Dragon will absolutely be having a Legion damage skill. So I just don't think that my dragon will add anything to that. So for that reason, I'm going to get the army reroute. After long last saving up, here we go. There you have it, folks. I now own reroute. I'm so excited. Can't wait to use it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.